Salute to everyone who's watched it. We're going back to dominate. So, been a while since I actually did this NEET series. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. But today I want us to talk about the need to be heard. Because I know that each and every one of us wants to be heard. And each and every one of us wants to feel that they are right. And that is why you will see people posting on social media platforms giving advice, or when you tell someone something and you want them to implement whatever that you're telling them, especially if they're asking you that question or you're just having a conversation about something serious, you want to be heard. You understand? And sometimes some people will go to extent that they would do clickbait because they want to be heard. They want to have attention. They want to be given attention. You understand? So that is what is happening when it comes to these controversies these days, because people think that when you are speaking about the word of God, you are controversial, especially when you're speaking about the things that people don't want to hear, that don't hurt their feelings. They say you're controversial. And they think that when I post such things and tell them the way the word of God is, I'm trying to be deep, controversial. I'm trying to be heard. Yes, obviously I want to be heard, because what's the point of me posting these videos for you and doing them if I don't want to be heard? But the problem is that people in these days, what is happening is that they want to be heard by using the wrong, how can I put it? They want to be heard in different ways that are wrong. Because right now, if a girl decides to post herself half naked, when she looks for that attention, she wants to be heard. She might not want to be heard in terms of words, but she wants that validation from someone to say that, I'm looking at you and I can see that you are appealing. That is the extent that we would go to when we want to be heard. Or someone talking about someone's name in a wrong connotation because they want that attention, they want that validation. And most of the times you'll see people making review videos or reaction videos about people because they know they want to be heard. And that is a need that is engraved in us, because everyone wants to have an opinion, wants to feel like their opinion matters. Imagine if you were speaking to someone and someone just looked at you and be like, yeah, you're talking, but I don't really care what you have to say. Yeah, sometimes, it depends the kind of person or the person to you, who is the person to you. But imagine if someone is important to you and you're speaking about something and they don't want to hear you. That is a need. You want to be heard. So what can you do in terms of making this need not come to the point that you can't be heard? Firstly, make sure that what you're talking about is something that you know. People like to make the mistake of thinking that they know about everything just because people are talking about it. You see, there are certain things I don't know about and I'll never engage on it. And if someone asks me about it, I'm just gonna tell them, I don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. It is okay to not know. Yes, you might want to learn about it. That's where you have to listen. But in terms of if you want to be heard, the second thing is that if you want to be heard, you have to be willing to listen. Even if it's the thing that you don't agree with. Because sometimes you have to realize that people are going to disagree with what you're saying. But you becoming loud and enforcing your thoughts and your beliefs on them, it's not going to make you feel heard, but it's going to make you look stupid. So be prepared that if you want to be heard, you have to be willing to listen to what the other person is saying, even if you don't like it, even if it's something that is contrary to what you believe in, even if it's wrong. but you have to be willing to listen to what the person has to say. Thirdly, if you want to be heard, make sure that you don't yell that thing to them. You are not loud about it. Because when you are loud and you are talking to someone and you start raising your voice, it means that you think that what you're saying is more important to them, or you're saying that the only way you're going to hear me is if I raise my voice. That is another problem. Don't do that. Speak in a loud, in a low manner. I know you are trying to be emotional, but suppress them. Suppress them as much as possible when you want to be heard. Fourthly, sometimes you have to admit that you are not going to agree. So agree to disagree. Just say, you know what, I can see that we are not going to go anywhere, but I appreciate the conversation. Let's just agree to disagree. No one fought. It's just the way it is. You understand? And sometimes, one thing I've learned from my mentors is that the less words should mean more. Meaning that you shouldn't, especially when you want to be heard by people, don't say a lot of things before you actually reach the point. Say the point, because when you have to explain yourself, you'll explain yourself if the person needs more clarity. But if the person does not need more clarity on what you're talking about, don't enforce it. Don't speak a lot of things before you actually come to your point. The point, speak less words that mean more. If you want to be heard, you get me. And fifthly, don't enforce your beliefs on people. You can make them aware, but you have to speak to people about certain topics based on their interest on the topic. Don't say that they have to hear me. They have to hear me. Like, if they didn't hear me, like one of the things that people used to do, that I preach to the Christians, they're like, if they are not Christian, they're going to hell. Yes, it is true that they are going to hell if they are not Christian, and they know if they don't die with Christ, they are going to hell. That's for sure. But when you are just talking about that and you're not bringing them closely to God little by little and just enforcing that they are going to hell, they're not going to listen to you. Or the LGBTQ, it's the same thing. They want to talk about those things, about gay, lesbian, transgender, non-binary, and whatever. But the problem is that because they are enforcing their beliefs on people, when people are like, no, there are two genders, and they are like, they say there are 1,000 genders, what you have to do is just say that, okay, I believe that there are 300 genders. I believe that there are two genders. Let's just agree to disagree. It's fine. We don't have to fight about it. When you enforce your beliefs on people, what you're doing is that you are showing them that it is not true. You are wrong, but you have to be right. Because when you are enforcing your beliefs on people, is that you're showing them that what I'm doing is wrong, but you have to believe me. So I know it's a need that you want to fulfill, but don't force yourself to be heard. People will listen to you if they want to listen to you. They won't listen to you just because you have a loud mouth or you have a lot of money, or they will want to listen to you because you have a lot of money, but it doesn't mean you are right just because you have a lot of money. But they will listen to you if you say things that feed them. So give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and comment below, and check out in the description, Can Homosexuality Be Cured? Always remember /TechXYS, so just lead you out.